Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. More diplomats, including Russia's ambassador to the Philippines, met with incoming President Bongbong Marcos today. Marlene Alcaide is reporting to us live from Mandaluyong City for the details. Hi Marlene, what were the highlights of that meeting?
Russia's commitment to helping out the Philippines with its oil and energy requirement was one of the highlights today. Of course, this is timely considering the consecutive oil price hikes that we've been having. All this came on the back of Russian ambassador to the Philippines, Marat Pavlov's courtesy visit to Marcos Jr. this morning. He said oil and gas were among the topics they discussed. Pavlov says Moscow is ready to cooperate and extend help to the Philippines to satisfy its need on gas, oil, and other energy sources. Russia is one of the largest exporters of petroleum products in the world, but several countries have issued a ban on Russia oil imports after its invasion of Ukraine early this year. This triggered a surge in oil and gas prices and in turn also hiked up prices of basic commodities. Pavlov said that while Moscow made a commitment to the Philippines on oil, the Russia-Ukraine war was only briefly discussed. This gave him the impression that Marcos Jr. wants to keep an independent foreign policy. Recall that during his campaign, Marcos said that the country should remain neutral on the issue. Sean, ambassadors from Egypt, Israel, and Denmark have also arrived to meet with Marcos. Among the topics discussed were sustainable energy and climate change. The Egyptian ambassador also invited Marcos to the UN Climate Change Conference in Egypt this November. Sean?
Thank you so much for those updates. Marlene Alcaide of News 5 reporting to us live from the Marcos headquarters in Mandaluyong City. And President Duterte led the country's commemoration of Independence Day for the last time as the chief executive. Maricel Halili with that story.
In his last few days in office, outgoing President Duterte led for the first and final time the country's Independence Day celebration at the Rizal Park in Manila. Duterte missed the Rizal Park celebration last 2017 after feeling sick, and in 2020 due to strict COVID-19 protocols. The president led the flag-raising event on Sunday morning and proceeded to the wreath-laying ceremony. As Duterte witnessed a flyby of Philippine Air Force aircraft, Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, who was also at the Rizal Park, suddenly fainted due to the scorching heat. The medics immediately brought Lorenzana to a nearby hospital. The Defense Department said Lorenzana just got back to the country after meeting his foreign counterparts in Singapore. His hectic schedule and the hot weather may have resulted in fatigue. On Sunday afternoon, President Duterte and Senator Bongo had a video call with Lorenzana to check his condition.
Mahirap talaga pag walang tulog at mainit yung panahon. Bigla yata siyang nahilo. Yun lang narinig ko sa kanya kanina. Sabi niya nahilo. Pero sana po okay siya.
In a Facebook post, Lorenzana said he's fine and just resting after his test results turned out okay. Before leaving the Rizal Park, Duterte talked to the members of the diplomatic corps. He emphasized the significance of his war on drugs.
Do not be afraid of the national. We have to government and we are.
Duterte has also expressed his concern over the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict.
We sympathize with you, Ukrainians. We understand it. But breaks my heart when building children are killed. It's not acceptable in our age of civilization.
From Rizal Park, the president then proceeded to the port area and in Valenzuela City for other activities. For News 5, Maricel Halili, We Are One News.
And the Interior Department remains firm that residents of Cebu Province are still required to wear face masks outdoors. This runs contrary to an existing provincial executive order allowing the optional use of face masks in open spaces. DILG Undersecretary Epimaco Densing said Cebuanos who are caught not wearing face masks in public will be apprehended. On the other hand, the Cebu Provincial Police earlier released a statement saying that they will enforce the provincial executive order. But the DILG insists that the mask mandate is still in effect nationwide under the COVID-19 state of public health emergency.
Well, ang guidance pa rin po ni Secretary Anyo ay huwag kilalanin ng executive order na inisyo ni Governor Gwen Garcia at binigyan po ng kautusan at direktiba pa rin ng ating kapulisan na komprontahin o bigyan ng advice ng ating mga kababayan dyan sa Cebu Province na hindi nakasuot ng face mask na magsuot pa rin ng face mask.
One News Now will be back with more stories after this quick break. Stay with us. Watching One News Now, I'm Sean Yao. Economists in the United States have raised the alarm about the possibility of a nationwide economic recession. This comes on the back of the U.S. inflation rate surging to 8.6% in May from a year ago, the worst in 4 decades. This happened despite the Fed's move to start tightening monetary policy and raising interest rates. And in Russia, McDonald's has reopened to customers under a different and Russian name, which translates to tasty and that's it. The fast food chain will also be using new names on the menu and retain all staff under equivalent terms for at least 2 years. McDonald's suspended its business in Russia back in March in response to the country's invasion of Ukraine. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Health Department reported 308 new COVID-19 cases on Sunday, the highest in almost 2 months. The DOH says Alert Level 2 could be raised in Metro Manila to curb the spread of COVID transmission, but this is still subject to careful evaluation from the IATF. Oil companies will again jack up pump prices starting tomorrow, Tuesday, June 14. Diesel prices will see a 4 peso and 30 centavo per liter increase, while gas prices will go up by 2 pesos and 15 centavos a liter. Kerosene will also be pricier by 4 pesos and 85 centavos a liter. And bus operators are asking for a fare hike to offset the impact of higher oil prices. The Provincial Bus Operators Association said a petition for a 30 centavo per kilometer increase will be filed this week. On top of higher fuel costs, toll fees and prices of spare parts have also been specified as additional reasons for the increase. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.